I'm Roger, and I've been married to Olivia for 9 years. We have 2 wonderful kids, Max, who's 7, and Ellie, just turned 4. On paper, our life looked perfect. A nice house just outside Portland, stable careers, and never a missed mortgage payment. We seemed like the picture of happiness. But if you had been paying close attention, you'd have noticed the subtle cracks forming beneath the surface. It began with small things. Olivia stopped sitting beside me on the couch. Those sweet texts that once ended with "love you" were reduced to just K. She was working late more frequently, saying the marketing team had picked up a demanding new client and deadlines were tighter than ever. I accepted it, told myself it was just stress. Then came the moment I called her office one Thursday evening just to hear her voice. Her coworker told me Olivia had left early. That stuck in my mind. Later that week, I passed by our bedroom and heard her laughing, a full, genuine laugh, over the phone. She didn't know I was there. I didn't ask who it was. I didn't want to seem paranoid. But something inside me started to watch quietly, observing without interfering. The following weekend, we attended a barbecue at our neighbor Sam's place. Olivia was glued to her phone the entire time. When I asked if everything was okay, she smiled without looking up, saying it was just work stuff. Later, Sam pulled me aside and asked quietly, "You and Olivia doing all right?" His question confirmed what I was already starting to suspect. She was somewhere else, emotionally distant. The breaking point came on a quiet Tuesday night. Olivia was asleep, her phone resting on the nightstand. I never went through her stuff, but something pushed me to pick it up. I pressed her thumb against the fingerprint sensor, and the phone unlocked. Right away, a message preview lit up. "Dylan, thinking about last weekend, can't stop smiling." I tried to open the messaging app, but it was locked with a passcode. She'd locked it separately. Smart, careful, secretive. I didn't react in anger. Instead, I sat in the hallway for 20 minutes, steadying my breath, deciding to watch closely but hold back for now. The next morning, Olivia made blueberry pancakes for Ellie, just how she likes them, and acted like nothing was wrong. I said nothing about the message. I waited 2 days before speaking. On Friday night, after the kids were asleep, I told Olivia we needed to talk. We sat across from each other at the kitchen table, the tension thick. I looked her in the eye and asked plainly, "Are you seeing someone?" She was silent for a long moment, then said, "I don't know what you mean." Her calm only made my suspicion burn brighter. I mentioned the message from Dylan. She hesitated, then leaned back and exhaled. "It's not what you think. We're just talking. It's emotional support, nothing physical. But it could have been." "How long?" I whispered. 5 months, she admitted. I nodded. "Is this why you've been pulling away from me?" She looked away. "I haven't felt like your wife in a long time, Roger. You've been checked out, always working, always tired. I needed something different, and I found it with Dylan." "I didn't plan for this to happen," she said quietly. "He gets me. I can talk to him. I feel seen." I was silent for a while, then asked the question I dreaded most. "Are you willing to end it?" She hesitated. "I don't know. I need time." "No," I said steady and cold. "You don't get time. You made your choice." "So, did I?" She stood up, angry. "You're being dramatic." "No," I said firmly. "I'm being clear." She walked upstairs without another word. That night, I moved into the guest room. I didn't sleep, not out of anger, but because I was planning my next steps. The next morning, I made breakfast for the kids, pancakes, orange juice, cartoons, like any other Saturday. Olivia came downstairs, avoiding my eyes, muttering a soft morning. I nodded, said nothing. That afternoon, while Olivia took Ellie to ballet, I made 3 calls. First, to a family law attorney named Marcus Grant, recommended by a coworker who'd quietly navigated his own divorce last year. Marcus was calm, professional, and didn't sugarcoat anything. "Protect yourself," he advised, especially financially. "Don't confront her. Just start documenting." Second, I called a therapist. For me, I knew if I didn't get my head straight, I'd react instead of lead. Third, I called my brother Nathan to arrange backup childcare if things blew up unexpectedly. That night, Olivia and I talked again after the kids were asleep. I'm not going to fight you, I told her. But I need to know, are you in it with Dylan or not? She looked frustrated. You're trying to corner me. No, I said calmly. I'm giving you a clear choice. You can't have both. If he means that much to you, I won't stop you. But I'm not staying married to someone with one foot out the door. I just need to say goodbye properly, she said softly. Closure? I raised an eyebrow. That sounds like an excuse to see him again. I'm not trying to be sneaky, she shot back, voice rising. You're just being controlling. I stood up. If I'm controlling for expecting my wife to cut off the man she cheated on me with, then so be it. She stared, tight-lipped. I continued, voice steady. If you want to be with him, just say so. Pack a bag and go. I'll figure out the rest. She didn't leave that night, but something inside her shifted, and something inside me hardened. For weeks, things were functional. Olivia agreed to cut things off with Dylan. She showed me the message where she said goodbye and blocked his number. I wanted to believe it, but people who lie once often lie again. 10 days later, I walked into the laundry room and saw her phone lit up on the dryer. A notification popped up. Dylan, miss you. That song you sent me. Still thinking about it. The contact name had been changed to client work. I confronted her. You're still talking to him? She paused mid-brush. Trying to explain the message was old. I showed her the screen. The text came through in real time. It's not that simple. Roger. He's helped me through a lot. What's not simple, I said, voice low, is raising 2 kids while their mother carries on a secret relationship and lies to my face. She whispered, I'm sorry. You're not sorry, I said. You're caught. The next morning, I had the divorce papers served. Timing it after she dropped Ellie at preschool, less chance of a scene with the kids. That night, Max, sharp as ever, asked, Why are you sleeping in the guest room again? I sat him down. Sometimes grown-ups don't agree on everything, but we still love you and Ellie. That will never change. He nodded slowly. Is Mom in trouble? No, buddy. We're figuring out some tough stuff. Later, Olivia said, You didn't have to humiliate me. I looked her in the eye. You had your chance to be honest. This is the result. She didn't argue. I didn't waste time feeling sorry for myself. I started waking up at 5:30 a.m., lifting weights in the garage before the kids woke. I accepted a promotion I'd been avoiding. Not because I couldn't do it, but because I didn't have a headspace. I paid off a chunk of the mortgage early. Olivia noticed, but I didn't offer explanations. We lived separate lives in the same house, keeping things civil for the kids until the legal side finalized. The arrangement was tense but polite. We took turns cooking, kept conversations to logistics, and avoided emotion. One afternoon, picking Max up from school, he said, You're happier now. I glanced at him. You think so? Yeah, he said. You laugh more. He was right. I'd started laughing again at shows, jokes, small moments, not because I was healed, but because I was no longer living in the dark. Olivia, on the other hand, looked worn out and distracted. She started coming home later, never talking about where she'd been. I didn't ask. I didn't care. But I knew if Dylan was still around, he wasn't stepping up, not publicly, anyway. One night, while folding laundry, she said, You know the kids are doing okay because of me, right? I folded a shirt and replied, They're doing okay because they have 2 parents who love them, and one of them hasn't been lying for 6 months. She said nothing. I kept going to therapy, pushing harder at the gym, adding muscle. I didn't touch dating apps. I didn't flirt. I didn't need to prove anything. People noticed. Coworkers, friends. Even Olivia's sister, Claire, whom I ran into at the grocery store, said, You look different. Better. Thanks, I said, bagging apples. I feel better. I meant it, she said quietly. I was winning quietly, and she could feel it. Max's 8th birthday was coming. Olivia and I agreed to separate celebrations, mine the weekend before, hers on the actual day. My party was simple. Backyard games, cake, close family and friends. Max had a blast. He told me it was the best day ever. That was enough. 3 days later, Claire told me Dylan was coming to Olivia's party at her parents' house, the same backyard Olivia grew up in. I didn't react. I just nodded. She didn't tell you? Claire asked. No, I said. She didn't. Claire looked uneasy. Thought you should know. I said nothing to Olivia. Didn't argue. Just made a plan. That Saturday morning, about 2 hours before the party, I stopped by unexpectedly. The kids were inside with their grandparents. I walked around the side and found Olivia and Dylan setting up balloons. The moment she saw me, her face froze. Dylan stiffened, holding paper plates like they were radioactive. Roger, Olivia said, voice tight, you weren't supposed to be here. I'm not staying, I said calmly, handing over Max's wrapped gift. Just dropping this off. And I want to say hello. Dylan tried to smile, but I looked right through him. Enjoy the party. I turned to Olivia. Don't use our son's birthday to parade your new guy, especially when half your family doesn't know the full story. She looked away. You don't understand. No, I said, I do. You just thought I wouldn't show. That's on you. I walked out the way I came. That afternoon, I went hiking to clear my head. My phone buzzed. Olivia asking me to come back, saying Max would miss me. I didn't reply. Later that night, Max called. Thanks for the gift, Dad. It was awesome. Glad you liked it, buddy. He didn't mention the party. Neither did I. I had made my point. 2 weeks later, the divorce was final. I signed the papers on a Thursday morning, then drove straight to my new place, a modest 2-bedroom house a few blocks away. Quiet street, fenced yard, space to breathe. I set up Max and Ellie's rooms first, posters, blankets, night lights, making it feel like home before they even walked in. When they did, Max said, this is cool, and Ellie hugged her stuffed unicorn like it was Christmas. That night, we made pizza, watched a movie, and laughed, like it was the most normal thing in the world. Olivia tried to keep contact beyond co-parenting. She texted photos of the kids outside our schedule, offered help furnishing the house, and mentioned holidays. I kept my replies short, polite, cold. Once, she said, we don't have to hate each other. I didn't answer. Another time, during a kid handoff, she said, you know I still care about you. I looked her in the eye. You cared about control. You lost it. She never said it again. Dylan? He never made a real appearance after.